Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Foe. I really don't know what to talk about in this one, I'll be honest. I have no script, I had no idea. I just picked a game, and today's game is... the game's name is Knights of Pen and Paper, and this is the second game in the series. This game's really fun. It's a nice take on the whole D&D thing. Like, there's just a lot of inside jokes, and plays on the whole atmosphere of D&D, but this is not what we're here about. We're here about, talking about life stuff and what's going on in my head. I guess we can relate it to RPG July, where we play RPG games, so games where we gotta either build our character or customize our character, things like that. And we could talk about customizing our own character and how tough that can be. I was actually thinking about this when I was going to bed the other night, that it often sometimes feels like we're not in control of who we are, like what kind of character we're building and stuff like that. But we are, like, we really are. It just sometimes can feel like we're on autopilot, and it kind of sucks, because there are times where I want to get a lot of stuff done, but there's just a part of me that goes, nah, it's just chill. Let's put it off. Let's procrastinate. And like that's why, like, right now I'm trying to get this stuff done. I'm trying to record it, And yeah, at the end of the day, this doesn't really mean much. It's more of just for fun. But even this is hard for me, like, to sit down and do this. Like, I was even practicing some language. I was making flashcards, and I kept wanting to stop because I was like, God, this is not really that fun. But it's still helpful. It's helpful to learn stuff. But maybe I need to find another way to do it. It's just, I know everyone struggles with this. I really do. Customizing your characters, not as easy as it is with a game where you just, click on drop-down menus and be like, I want this stat. It's more more akin and realistic to like those games where, you play through some random scenario and your character starts building random statuses that you have no control over. It just happens. But you can do something about it, right? You can go out and either cure the element or work around the element or the status that's getting in the way. That's more like real life, and I understand that. I used to be about 210 pounds, like about a year and a half ago. And I'm down to 145 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And it was just because one day I decided, you know what, I'm gonna change the way I eat. And I started reading books on it. It's almost like, doing like in The Sims, where you sit down and read a book. You're like, oh, it's like your skill on this increased. It felt like that. It really did. I got better at just understanding nutrition of my own body and eating. Of course, I'm no scientist or professional, but I learned enough to change my diet on my own. I didn't have to hire anybody. That with working out and stuff, and those are one of those things that's just really hard. I tell people, like, that's all you got to get done, and for them it's tough. It really is. Anyways, so yeah, side quests, grind, it's frustrating. It really is. What can you do? So what else is on schedule here to talk about? I haven't done what grinds my gears in a while. Maybe I should do that. What does grind my gears lately? Especially as related to RPG games, characters. Probably fixed mindsets. Some people think that they're just born into this world as a specific character, and that's just the character they're gonna play. That's the role they're gonna play. They have no control over it. That's who they're gonna be. I don't blame them for thinking that way, but at the same time, it's just... Have you tried being a different person? Or do you just give in to the usuals? I mean, I get it. I sometimes find myself falling into the same habits. And it kind of goes back to one of the books I read towards the beginning of this year called The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, where he says, we're often, I think it's law number 3? No, law number 4, I think. Yeah. It goes irrationality, narcissism, role play, and then compulsive behavior. The compulsive behavior is the one we often fall into. We often fall into the same habits because we let our emotions get to us. We let our default mode, like, you know, I was saying earlier, the autopilot, we let that part of us take over, and it just gets in the damn way. And I know this for a fact. You know, I'll share with you guys something personal that I often find myself falling into. There's two things. One, I find myself spending money because I'm bored and want to see something new. It's stupid. It really does not make my life easy at all. The second one is sometimes I want to take a break from everything and just stay inside my room all day. And, you know, some people argue like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. No, there's a lot wrong with that. Because there are times where I really need to get stuff done. Like, I gotta go on errands out. I have to sometimes I need to go to work. I don't go. It's just that kind of stuff. And I know it has to do with, you know, something going on in my brain that shifts me into that direction, but in my head, I try to tell myself there's no excuse. Look at me trying to put it in the wrong place. There's no excuse. I need to get it together. Really do. But this goes into something else I want to talk about. Okay, we already went grind my gears, you know, and I'm part of that. My personal self grinds my own gears. It's so annoying. We're gonna skip forward again. The one thing I want to talk about is how your stomach can affect every aspect of your life. I know that sounds weird. It sounds crazy, right? But there's been a lot of studies now. Then I can attest to this, unless it's a placebo effect. I doubt it though, because it happens without me even thinking about it. There are bacteria in your stomach that create they pretty much help give you the building blocks to develop neurotransmitters, which are the things that, you know, fall in line in your brain in order to make you feel a certain emotion, whether it's sad, angry. You know, of course, we label those. Every emotion is just a mixture of different neurotransmitters, whether it's serotonin, I believe acetylcholine. I know acetylcholine is more for your muscles and to tense you up so you can use them and stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily part of that. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just trying to remember stuff off the top of my head. You have GABA, you have cortisol, you have dopamine, which I know a lot of you are familiar with. All of these are increased and decreased by whatever you're eating and whatever your stomach bacteria are running. And it has been shown that often, if you are eating like crap, it is much harder to have a more happier and non-volatile emotional, like, you know, aspect. Of course, you have your defaults with your genes and stuff like that, but the bacteria are kind of like stats that are getting put into your character. And sometimes you have the bacteria adding stats that are like, we don't need more of that. It's causing me to become a more aggressive character, you know how like you have your dialogue options. It's kind of like that. Like you start getting more either aggressive or you're nihilistic, you're depressed. You know, you can be optimistic, pessimistic, you know, all types of things. You don't want to talk to people. All types of stuff that could happen just from you not eating the right food. And for people who know me, they know that I associate everything with food. But honestly, Hippocrates was right. You know, let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. Because it really works like that. It really does. Look, if you get your leg blown off, of course, you know, it doesn't work for that. That's a whole different thing. You know, you can't regrow a leg. You can't regrow a leg, you know, just eating a bunch of, you know, vegetables and stuff. But you are going to need the energy to make it through and survive, okay? And that comes from food. So yes, you can get it. And you don't want to be eating crappy food that ruins the area that you're trying to heal, all right? So don't give me that. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about those kind of things. Skip ahead again one more time. Where I have more characters. I think I got like 4 characters. I made a cheerleader. Oh, you know what? I know one more thing we could talk about. And I kind of did talk about this in the platformer month. You know, about like jumping to each platform, you have to just take those risks. It's the same with RPGs, you know, sometimes you just walk into a dungeon and you just don't know, and there's just the dungeon of life, right? Sometimes you take a risk and you're like, all right, I'm gonna try out this new experience, I'm gonna try out this new job or new place I'm gonna live at, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what might happen. You might get some nice treasure, you might get totally screwed and lose everything you've ever owned. I don't know. But we often still have to make those risks, right? Can't really avoid them. Because sitting still and sedentary, I mean, maybe after a while you become a little delusional and you start enjoying it, which I guess is not a problem. Unless you're just lying to yourself. That's kind of hard to realize because some people believe in their own lies. It's hard, it's really hard. But we're creatures of movement, we're creatures of change, we're creatures that need things to keep going. I think that's why we die. We need to move on so that the next generation can, you know, take the information we've learned and push it forward. I mean, that's why we're such good learners. We're good at chunking information and making patterns out of it, so that when people give us a rundown of what they've learned, they're chunking their information in it. They're chunking their information and they're chunking their information and wrapping it in a nice package so they can pass it on to us, so we can eventually add more information to that and have, you know, make a bigger package that's easy to digest and pass that information on to the next generation. Well, that's what I'm hoping to do when I get older. I'm hoping to be able to package a lot of the things I've learned and make it really easy and digestible so that the future generation can learn things quicker. Hopefully push that, make it more common, because God, our world is not really in the direction of education, fortunately. Very unfortunate. But anyways, guys, I think that's about it. I don't really have much to talk about today, and we're already about to hit 14 or 15 minutes. I hope you guys like the look of this game. Knights of Pen and Paper 2. Check it out if you haven't. It's a nice little game. They have it on the phone as well. I think it's for free as well. Anyway, guys, take care. I hope you guys enjoyed RPG Julys. So, next we will be doing... What's after July? August. Awesome August. Ooh, I gotta pick a fun game. Alright, cool. Alright, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.